Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Inside the Mirror podcast. I'm your host, Kyle David. Um, if you are watching right now, it's windy here in Texas. It is windy in Dallas, like crazy windy. Also, not the warmest. So today I busted out my puffy U-Haul jacket. I'm not sure if this was actually worn by a U-Haul employee or if it was more of a fashion statement. The people that have commented on it that I know think it was made as a piece of fashion. I like to think that it was actually worn by U-Haul drivers to stay warm. Um, so we'll never know. We'll never know. I was I didn't buy the jacket. I got the jacket from someone left it at a place and then it was given to me. So yeah, I like to believe if you're watching, if you're listening, you're like, I don't know what he's talking about. You better go to the YouTube Inside the Mirror and see the jacket. It says U-Haul, it's brown and orange, and it looks like a U-Haul jacket. I believe that a U-Haul employee wore this jacket to stay warm. And my coworkers and friends think that it was made as like a piece of fashion. So you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm wearing it as a piece of fashion to stay warm. So thanks for tuning in. That's where we're at. I'm recording this on a Saturday. Happy Saturday, wherever you're at around the world. Today, I want to talk about something that's just on my mind recently. As it's about success. Like, how do we define success? I think this is a conversation that needs to be had more in Western culture, especially in America. Like, what is success? What do we define as success? Because it sure seems to me like we have probably a messed up definition of what success is. So let's just read my favorite definition that I found here of success. And it is this. Success is sticking with what matters through hard times. Success is living a life that you can feel proud of in retrospect. I like those. I'm going to say that again. Success is sticking with what matters through hard times. Success is living a life you can feel proud of in retrospect. I like those. So sticking with things through hard times and living a life that you can be proud of. So let's just be transparent and honest here. As I look around, as I look at myself and my own life, as I look at America, our culture, I don't think the definition of success that's being lived out by most people fits the definition of success that I just read. It seems that our culture's definition of success is more financial achievement in careers or personal life, or success looks like husband or wife and kids and a house and a car, and like success seems to be very materialistically defined in America, and I'm guilty of it as charged, right? Like, I see myself as not successful because I don't have X, Y, or Z, right? Or I'm not here, or here yet in life, career, relationships, whatever. So I'm not successful in the modern cultural definition of success. So it'd be interesting to hear what y'all think is a good definition of success. And then also what you think. Hit me up on social media. Let me know. What do you think is a good definition of success for yourself? And then how do you think our culture defines success? You've heard what I have to say. I think culture defines success very materialistically. I think most of us do too, because we live in the culture, right? But again, if success is actually just sticking with things through hard times and living a life you can be proud of, then we really are way off in our culture, right? Like, and I want to live by those definitions of sticking with things through hard times, of living a life I can be proud of. Those are definitions of success I'm down with. Making tons of money and having nice cars and a dope house. That's great, but that can't be defining of success, because we know we know that materialism doesn't actually bring fulfillment. I know people argue that material possessions can bring happiness, and I probably wouldn't argue back on that. I just don't think they can bring you lasting fulfillment. And that kind of ties into like success, right? Like, how if you are successful, if you do stick with things through hard times, if you do live a life you can be proud of, you will be successful by that definition, and you will also probably be fulfilled in the life that you live, right? So that's just what I want to talk about here briefly. Is that something that's been on my mind, and it's is there's a tension, right? Like there's a tension because part of me does want to just strive for materialistic things and career success and money and relationships and so part of me does want to define success the way that our culture does, right? Um, but the other part of me, the tension there is that the other part of me doesn't want to. I want to define success in a fulfilling way, in these ways, right? To stick through hard things and live a life I can be proud of. That's what I really want. So there's a tension there. And I think it's okay to call that out, that most of us do want material things, right? We have grown up seeing that in movies or shows, or it's just the culture again. So we've grown up thinking that these are the things that we should get to be successful. And so there's probably a tension in all of us between like we want to have a fulfilling, successful life in like the positive, actual defining way. But there's also part of us that wants like the materialistic uh, things that the world shows us are success, quote unquote. So, um, how do you go about redefining success for yourself? And I don't have all the answers. That's a real question. Like that just came out of me. Like, how do you go about redefining your definition of success, which would then redefine kind of the way you live your life and your daily habits and the things that you do or things you're striving for, right? Like, um, if your North Star is money, cars, clothes, and relationships, then your daily habits probably are are in line with that, right? Like, and your stress level is probably in line with that too. I can say very vulnerable. Why is that so hard? Vulnerable, vulnerably. That was difficult. Very, I could say vulnerably that many times my daily stress levels are super high because I'm defining success incorrectly. So and so it's a constant battle, right? Again, it is a constant battle because yeah, sometimes my daily habits do line up with materialistic success and my stress levels match that. But on the days that I'm able to refocus and orient my thinking towards a better definition of success, my stress levels are always lower when I'm just focused on what I'm doing today and making sure that I just live a day that I can be proud of and work through the hard things of that day. Those are always the better days versus the days when I'm just striving to get more things and work harder to eventually have stuff, right? Those days are more stressful. So I've experienced both, and I would assume most people listening or watching have experienced both on some level, right? You've had days where you feel very proud of yourself, and then you have days where you're just like all you did was just bust your butt because you want some money, or some stuff, right? So I think we can all relate to those. And again, I'm not here with all the answers because I don't have them. But I do think like there's things that you can do to help redefine success in your mind, because if you don't redefine in your mind, again, as we talked about last week, life is lived in your mind, right? So the things that you decide and the way you set up your mindset and the way that you feed your mind becomes your daily habits, becomes your reality, right? So like, how do you shift your focus or your definition of success from materialism to a fulfilling life that you can be proud of and just working through hard things? I think it's a constant daily reset. I think everything's a daily reset. I think everything, life has to be broken down into days, minutes, hours. As we say in the sober community, which I'm not super connected to the sober community, but like I'm part of it because I'm sober. One day at a time. That's the mantra. It's been my mantra since I got sober in 2015. One day at a time, one day at a time. Being sober was not easy. It's easier now, but it was not easy at the beginning. So I had to break it down into chunks, one day at a time. And living a successful life, by whatever definition, even if it is a materialistic definition, it still has to be broken down into daily, hourly chunks, right? So I think having a routine in the morning where you practice gratitude and you kind of focus on or you remind yourself of what success is would be a good place to start, right? And I do that well some days and not well other days, where there are some days where I can remind myself like, okay, today my job is just to make it through hard things, push through the hard things, and make sure I'm proud of what I did today. And there's other days where I don't do that well, and I run through the day just stressed and anxious and trying to perform my way into some happiness. And that doesn't seem to be effective when it comes to living just a life I'm proud of. Like, if success is living a life you're proud of, and you just run through life trying to get stuff, will you be proud of that? I think the answer is no. I think we would all answer no, right? If you get to the end of your life and like you made a couple million and you drove a Porsche, would you be proud of that? You may say so now, but probably not at the end of your life. Like, again, I've had family members that had a lot of stuff, um, things, but I don't know if they're super proud of or feel successful in this definition of pressing through hard things and just living a life you're proud of, right? Just sprinting through life to get stuff. But what if you eventually get stuff, but then you die right after you get the stuff? Were you proud of that? Right? Like, so really it has to be deeper than just like telling yourself what success is, but like reframing, like, how am I going to live my life today in a way that I'll be proud of it? Right? Like, not how can I live my life in a way today that will get me more stuff. Those are literally like two opposites, right? Like, living your life to get more stuff, you might do some things that you're not proud of. If that's your only goal, is to live your days just to get more stuff, you might do things you're not proud of. Therefore, you wouldn't be successful in this definition, right? So I think um, uh, daily reorienting your mind of like, what am I seeking to accomplish today? Not task wise, right? You might still have the same tasks. And some of those tasks might be just executing on things that do get you paid or get you stuff or whatnot. You still got to do the tasks, but like, what's your mindset? Like, how do I want to approach today? Do I want to approach today and like, whatever it takes to get the money or the stuff? Or do I want to approach today and like, whatever I have to do the right thing, that I can be proud of my day? So yeah, it's an interesting thing. And again, I don't have all the answers. I think a good morning routine of resetting your mindset is one way to start. I think journaling and taking journaling about your day after your day to go, hey, did I live a day that I'm proud of, or did I do some stuff that I wasn't proud of? Because my definition of success was off, right? Like, my definition of a successful day was do whatever it takes, grind 16 hours, get this money, right? If that's your definition of success, are you proud of that though? Like, and maybe you are. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. This is just me talking with you. This one I have the least amount of answers, because I also deal with it, like defining success incorrectly, defining success by external metrics, by my performance, whether at work or in my relationships or whatever, right? Like, I very much define success by my performance and put my identity in my performance. But I don't want that to always be the case. And I've done a lot of work for that not to be the case, but it's still sometimes the case, right? Again, we all live in that tension of like the material versus like the more ethereal. Like, success is living a life you're proud of, right? So like, I don't have all the answers. I think journaling is helpful. I think talking to other people is helpful. I think talking to people that you see as successful is definitely helpful. Like, however you define success, find someone that fits that and ask them about it. Are they proud of the life they've lived or the things they've done? How do they define success? Like, I think we definitely live in a society that doesn't do a good job of communicating well, listening well, or seeking out wisdom. I don't think our culture really seeks out wisdom well, right? Like, we're taught to just like go figure it out and every man for himself, grind on your own. But there's so many people out there that have so much knowledge and wisdom stored up just from life experiences, successes, failures, that if you want to be successful like somebody, go ask them what they did and ask them if they're proud of it, right? Because if we're defining success as living a life you're proud of, find people that you see as successful that you want to be like and ask them if they're proud of the life they've lived. And if so, then model that. And if not, then go ask somebody else or ask them what they would do differently. Like, seek it out. Like, excuse me, if you want anything in life, you have to seek it out, right? Like if you want to live a fulfilling life and you don't know exactly how to do that on the day to day, go ask somebody. Go ask somebody. Go find the information. Go find the knowledge. Go find someone that can pour wisdom into you. Um, Again, if you want anything in life, to you have to take action. There's not a mentor headed your way that you've never met that's just going to knock on your door and be like, "Hey, I'd like to pour some wisdom into you." Like that's not coming. It's not happening. That's not how life works. You have to go take action. But there are people that are willing to help you. And I, again, to be vulnerable, I struggle with that too. I don't ask for a lot of help. I don't seek out a lot of knowledge and wisdom from outside of from a few people. So I need to improve in that area too. So I'm with you. I'm not against you. But we have to take action and go. I need to redefine success because right now I'm living for money and stuff, and I know I won't be proud of that at the end of my life. So and the other definition of sticking with it through hard things, like I think we would all agree that that's a part of success, is like when life gets tough, not giving up. When things get tough, not giving up, sticking through the hard things. Like life is full of hard things. If you don't learn how to handle hard things or to stick with it, then you will probably never feel fulfilled or successful. You'll just quit, right? So how do you not quit? How do you stick with it? Again, find people that have done hard things or made it through hard things or stuck it out through hard things and ask them how they did it. Right? Again, it's not, you don't have to enroll in a course. You don't need to go to college for basically anything anymore. What a scam. Anyways, 1.2 trillion in student debt. That's wild. Yeah. Anyways, but you can't get a home loan. Okay, stop, Kyle. But yeah, go find people that have the knowledge, have the information, have the wisdom, have done the things, have been successful in a way that you want to be successful, and go seek them out and go find them and ask them, are you proud of the way that you've lived your life, the things you've done? What would you do differently? I think that would be to answer the question of like, how do you redefine success and then live that out? It's you have to ask people. You have to find people that have done it and pick their brains and ask the right questions and listen. I think that would be the most practical key thing that you could do, that I could do, that we could do, to redefine success in a way that that is fulfilling, right? Sticking through hard things, that's fulfilling at the end of it. Living a life you're proud of will be fulfilling. But again, what are the tactics? How do we do that? Go ask somebody. Go ask somebody. Find your favorite successful person on the internet and watch their YouTube videos. Like listen to podcasts. Find information on how people have lived fulfilling, successful lives. Because most people that, in my experience, and I believe most people that have had material success will tell you that that's not fulfilling. I haven't met anybody that made a bunch of money and was like, yeah, as soon as I made a bunch of money, I just felt so fulfilled. Like, no, the story's always, yeah, I made a bunch of money and I never felt, it never made me feel fulfilled. Like, so that just shows you the importance of defining success correctly. Because you don't want to look back and be like, man, I'm just another person who got some stuff and isn't fulfilled. And I don't feel proud of it. You don't want to be there. You don't want to live a life of regret. I don't either. But we have to take action to redefine it for ourselves. Find out what it looks like to live in those habits that lead to more daily fulfillment and success, and then take action. So I hope this was helpful. It was just something that's on my mind. So I thought it'd be a good thing to talk about, again, especially in a society like ours that is just so focused on material things and money. Let's redefine success. Let's live lives that we're proud of, stick through the hard things, and be able to look back and feel fulfilled. So love you guys. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of Inside the Mirror podcast. I'm Kyle David. Until next time, adios.